Hey everybody, Corey at Gemini Guitar. As you heard in the intro there, I was doing some thrashy sort of things. Mainly focusing on that specific interval of the minor second. I get some people ask me about riff creation, ingredients, how do I come up with riffs and things. Well, what we're going to look at in this video are just a couple of similar ideas to what I was doing in the intro that may shed some light on the subject, at least for the darker side of things, in that metallic sort of vein. So let's see how we go. So the example I was playing in the intro is focusing on the minor second interval, and what is that, you might ask? Well, basically it means that we're a semitone apart from each other. So if we're playing a root note, say on the 7th fret E on the A string, then our minor second interval would be the F note next door to that, one semitone higher. Now pretty much the key or the general scale that we're working with in this context would be the Phrygian mode, since it progresses from the root E into the semitone interval or minor second interval, then through the rest of the scale. Interestingly, the E Phrygian mode actually occurs within the C major scale, but since we're starting on the E note, that becomes our root. And therefore the F note becomes the minor second, the E being the first degree or the starting point. Now we've also got lots of these over the fretboard, so in the introduction there I was using in the 7th position the E note and the F note on the A string. Something to that effect, and I was also later on in the piece I was using some stuff down in the open position, so we had like a double stop idea, which pretty much the same rhythm just with double stop. So in this case what we're doing is we've got the E note on the D string, we're adding in the B note, which is actually the E note's 5th, but we're going to put that on the bottom, so we've got a heavy sort of sound. We've still got that intervallic concept at work. If we listen just to the E and F again, just adding in that B on the bottom. So it's like a harmonized interval in this regard. So say you had two guitarists, one guy could be doing this bit, and the other guy could be doing this. If we put those together just with one guitarist, it sounds pretty cool anyway. Of course, we can also use it as just straight power chords. So we've got the low E5 and the open to the F5. The bottom line is we're emphasizing that minor second interval the whole time. Now I've also got it up at the 12th and 13th fret on the E string, low E string, and of course around that we've also got all the octaves to go with it. So in the introduction I was starting in this point. I was also using the octave from that, so that's 9th fret on the G string and 10th fret on the G string. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of those all around the fretboard, so depending on the style of music that you're doing and the context and that you're doing that music in, all of those have a specific role to play within those contexts, I guess. So the final idea I was using towards the end was like a sort of a hardcore metal crossover type of rhythm. I've covered this one before in hardcore rhythm, I think, but this one, or this time, we're in D standard, so we're kind of closer, I guess, to that traditional sort of tuning. I think in the introduction I was doing the more classic power chord shape, this one down here. So that's 2nd on the D, 4th on the G, and 5th on the B string. So I ended up with something like this. I think towards the end there I was actually using inverted power chords in the 7th and 8th position here too, like a... before descending chromatically. So that's another option there for you. So if you get nothing else out of this video, I would like to think that you've learned at least that intervallic concept, semitone, minor second, from root to next door to that. And just to explore that interval all across the fretboard, and in that way then you'll have the ingredients that you need to come up with a variety of styles and riffs and things when it comes time to create something. So that's what you should do, in my opinion. You learn an interval somewhere, try and learn it everywhere. And also don't be afraid to experiment a bit with it like we did. So we added in the double stop concept, and then the octave, and so on. And in doing that, then you really do assimilate it, and becomes like a weapon in your musical arsenal, if you like. So anyways, hope that's helped you out. It's been a bit of fun doing this one. It's one of my favorite intervals, and I'm going to do some more lessons on this particular interval, but within some different context and sort of tempos and styles and things. So anyways, until the next lesson, bye for now.